Path of Exile 2 patch 0.5 is right around the corner with a massive overhaul to the endgame, new bosses, new ascendancies, lots of new interesting uniques and so much more.
Behold, the first edict.
Even though there's a massive amount of things I want to try out right away, you have to start somewhere. And for me, that will be the martial artist monk. GGG just released a showcase for the martial artist and it looks phenomenal with a lot of strong ascendancy options. Like runic meridians that allow you to tattoo runes onto your body, making them a more permanent and more readily available option than rune sockets on gear. This should allow for a much easier time capping resistances during the campaign and provide some additional powerful bonuses in the endgame. Or how about Way of the Stone Fist that grants your gloves extra evasion and energy shield based on your level, and the modifiers on the gloves themselves become a lot more powerful as well. And even if I won't be using Way of the Mountain myself, it may be a decent pickup just for the additional stun threshold while leveling. But I would make sure to swap it out later on. There is also the path of the more combo-oriented nodes that allow you to live out the fantasy of a martial artist werewolf if you so choose. But the most interesting nodes to play around with for me will be Holo Focus, Holo Resonance and Holo Form technique. Holo Focus technique summons a ghostly bell near a character that is primed for stun, allowing for interactions with skills like Bone Shatter or supports like Impact Shockwave. It is also callable by default to allow for easy charge generation from skills like Cull the Weak and Killing Palm. However, the most interesting interaction in my opinion is the one between Holo Focus technique and the new Delirium unique gloves Horror's Flight. Horror's Flight gives you a culling attack called Crushing Fear. When it culls an enemy, it creates a shockwave that deals a massive 1275% attack damage in an area effect around it. It is an interaction I will definitely explore further later on in the league. Holo Resonance technique, on the other hand, is a lot more straightforward. It attaches a ghostly bell to your back that rings out whenever you deal a critical hit with other skills. Whereas the previous two nodes focused on ghostly bells, Holo Form technique allow you to channel images of your astral self to attack nearby foes, and expanding power charges creates additional images. This will be the core of my league starter for 0.5, as the gameplay footage of Holo Form technique and Whirling Assault look like a great deal of fun. We also just had a patch note state that Tempest Bell can now be ancestrally boosted, and the number of active bells have been increased to 3. Allowing us to drop 3 bells simultaneously and astral projecting images of our whirling assaulting self towards our foes.
To face us is to face oblivion.
As for getting to the endgame, I've made a leveling guide, both available on Maxroll and as a PoB. And in the PoB we have different loadouts, so you can follow along both the tree, what skills you should have, and gear to aspire to have as well. These are just sample items, but it's something to follow along with while leveling and see what you can do better. We start by rushing Hollow Palm. Then after that, we start picking up some movement speed nodes, just so that we can move around faster in the campaign. After that, it's mainly just picking up damage wherever we can, just to make it faster. As for skills, we start out with Glacial Cascade for single target along with Frost Bomb, and we use Frozen Locust plus Herald of Ice for clear. At level 14 we swap over to Ice Strike and Tempo Spell for single target. And later on, when we get a decent quarterstaff, we make the transition over to Whirling Assault with Tempo Spell. I usually do this in mid or late Act 4, because that's where Hollow Palm starts to kind of drop off a little bit. As for Ascendancies, we can either start out with Way of the Stone Fist or Runic Meridians. I'm going to try and get attack speed on gloves for Way of the Stone Fist, so we can get onslaught on hit. which gives us another 20% skill speed and 10% movement speed through the campaign. But if you prefer to play a bit more slow and just get to the end game at your own pace, then I would recommend Runic Meridians and just socket resistance runes in your gear, just to have it an easier time leveling. For the third Ascendancy, I'm going to try out Hollow Form Technique. Unfortunately, based on the footage, it doesn't seem like it interacts with a lot of other monk skills, like Shard Staff, Staggering Palm, and the Bell. But I still want to try it out just to see how it is. And for the fourth Ascendancy, I'm probably going Hollow Focus Technique for charge generation. And depending whether or not Hollow Form Technique is good, I might switch off to Hollow Resonance Technique instead. As of recording this, PoB doesn't have the updated Atlas tree yet, but the tree over at Maxroll is updated. That's why you can see I have the martial artist here. There's also been quite a few nerfs over to the stronger damage nodes in the start of the monk tree, but we've also gotten some of the new nodes over here that are quite strong, along with the updated values for deflection, which is hopefully a lot better this patch. And that's it for now. I'll link the PoB and the max roll guide in the description, and I hope you all have a great time in 0.5. I know I will.